Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Profit Max podcast, where we interview industry leaders, people with a lot of experience and insights and knowledge, so that we bring more value to entrepreneurs and business owners in general. No? So, well, we're coming to the end of 2021, and next week will be the start of a new year. So we can see how many, while some businesses have been thriving. For example, if you're in the, what do you call, personal health industry or pharmaceutical industries or some of these PPE industries, then you're probably thriving, no? But if you are some of the other industries, like for example, retail is badly hit, tourism and travel is badly hit. These are the more visible ones. So we've got a mix of results. So going in, as we end the year and going to the forward into the next year, let's see how we can make 2022 better. So today we're very privileged to have with us a guest, none other than Mr. Chin Chee Seong, CS Chin as he's called, who is actually also the National Secretary General of the SME Association of Malaysia. So welcome CS to this podcast. And well, I know you have a very wide experience with a lot of businesses, a lot of companies. You hold a lot of different positions, all kinds of NGOs, from PICOM to SME Association and National Chambers and so on. So maybe you could start by asking you, tell us a bit about yourself and your background and how you got started.
Thank you, Peter. Thanks for having me here in your program. Maybe a quick one to talk about my experience and what I do.
Yeah.
I have more than 30 years of not only working experience, on business experience in ICT industry, and mainly focus on telecommunication, cloud services and venture investment industry. Especially now, I'm doing a lot of venture investment through my currently listed company in US called CTech Venture Corp. We are doing a venture investment kind of incubation to help local technology-based company to securitize their share and bring forward their values and help them to work together with others companies, similar company in the region, so to expand and rebuild their business. So this is something that I do because of the fact that I involve a lot in NGOs, not only in Malaysia, across the Southeast Asia as well. So we have a lot of what they call business, not only partners, that they're also association related kind of businessmen, right from Taiwan, to Thailand, to even Indonesia. So we have a good mix of link with them. And that's why we found that it's very important right now, we should grow the Southeast Asia market. Because if you look at the whole global industry now, the concentration of the investment, I'm not going to China, I'm not going to US, so I'm going to Europe.
Yes.
So people will start coming to Southeast Asia.
Yes.
With 600 million population and the market is growing, and huge potential for many investors looking into Southeast Asia based, especially those technology-based companies.
Yes.
So that's what we do right now. So besides now, I'm the National Secretary General of SME Association, which is the largest association. I'll brief a little bit about our association. I'm also the National President of Malaysia Cross-Border E-Commerce Association.
Wow.
This is a very important association, especially when RCEP and CPTPP, the trade agreement signed by Malaysia, RCEP signed, CPTPP will be signed, and that will affect a lot of our Malaysian export company, especially those trading. Malaysian SME mainly are trading and services company.
Yes.
And, we need to help them. Via this association, we link up with various cross-border association in mainly in China, Taiwan, even Southeast Asia, so that they can have cross-border e-trade and business partnership, whatever, that will suit to improve their sales of their business, to ease, the cross-trading of each nation. So because now, you will notice that RCEP have already signed, but there's little talk about it. How are you going to benefit?
Yes.
How SME going to, make yourself more competitive? In fact, we have the large market, the 30% of the whole GDP world market with 15 countries in the partners of the RCEP, but the fact that your country also will be open up to others. So there is both ways. So we have to learn about it. So that's the reason why I started this association. So far, we have close to 180 members. Will be increasing.
Okay.
And, because of MCO, we can't move.
Yeah.
Cross-border, you need to meet people. You need to meet those companies or associations coming from overseas.
It's not just cross-border, but cross-border e-commerce, is it?
Right.
Okay.
Cross-border e-commerce. So that's the fact. It's very important.
Okay.
Right.
So tell me what would be some of the complications or intricacies of cross-border e-commerce? Because e-commerce, I would imagine, would be, everything you do online like Alibaba and all that. So where does the cross-border come in? Because I thought already once you're in e-commerce, we are borderless. So are you talking about facilitating the transportation and logistics or getting through the...
Not so much on that. It's more of a business cooperation.
I see.
Let's say now you want to go to China. Where you want to go? Who will help you? You can't just put your product in Malaysia and start selling to China. It's not that easy.
Yeah.
You have to have a partner there to work with you. So we are trying to accelerate the partnership for our members and the relevant similar kind of company who are keen to deal with the Malaysian company.
Okay.
Then we build partnership. Right. Besides that, we talk to the government. Each country have a different policy. Even now, the RCEP is signed, but they still have some protective
barriers and
all these things there. So we are there to negotiate, helping, especially Matrade and MITI to put in our suggestion and views, whereby it will not only let them protect themselves, but let's open up and a fair trade agreement that go advantage to both sides, not only one side. So these are the things that we want to do.
Okay.
So there's on the cross-border e-commerce.
Okay, so it's facilitating the cross-border trade,
Yes, for our members, association is to help the members. The policy or the other part of it, the promotion-wise, they leave it up to the Matrade, the agency to do it.
Okay.
We do not have that.
Right.
But which is key, which is very key.
Yes. Are the members now more like food products, or is it a cross-section, or?
Yeah, some are platform. Some are platform provider, the e-commerce platform. Because under e-commerce platform, they have also, seller, or they have their companies who list their product inside there. So various, right? So for Malaysia, frankly speaking, to go outside trading for SMEs, there's not many products. Right, not many products. I will show you some figure later on the on how much we have been exporting.
Okay, all right. So
besides that, I'm currently the honorary chairman, also the advisor for PICOM.
Wow.
The tech industry. I've been there since 1999.
Wow.
Right. So I was the past chairman from 2015 to 2017.
Okay.
And I was in charge of PC Fair. So I run PC Fair the whole nationwide for many years. Okay. So besides that, I'm also the council member of Kuala Lumpur Selangor Chinese Chamber of Commerce, KLSCCCI, since the 2017 as well.
Wow.
And a committee member for Malaysia China Business Council. This is the government agency that specifically set up to facilitate G2G and businesses investment between both countries. Right. So this is a government agency.
Okay.
Then we have IR 4.0 technology committee, which I was the deputy chairman of the committee.
Wow.
It's trying to facilitate, trying to bring in technology from China to help our locals companies or even those business companies who are willing to work with them. So we are trying to do matchmaking for this and bring in technology to Malaysia so that to help this is our SMEs to move towards digitization, automation at a cheaper cost, but and the right product. That's what we are trying to help them. Right.
So it looks like you wear many hats in the NGO front, huh?
No, sometimes you don't have to do much, but some are like advising. Like for instance, I'm also the advisor for Health University as an industrial advisor.
Oh, okay.
What kind of program they need to come up with? What kind of student that we need in the market? So we have a link between both university and and industry. So this is where
Excellent.
as advisory.
So you give help university input in terms of the industry requirements, what kind of graduates you're looking for, what kind of skills we want, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's
excellent.
a committee set up with various works of advisor. You know, some are from technology based, some are from corporates, some are even from Microsoft, for instance. They sit in a board and then, you know, try to help the locals. We want to build a high income nation. We need that. You know, our students do not enough or not capable, you know, to cope with the new development. If you want to move towards a high tech or a high income nation within another 10 years, which I think is not easy, right?
Yeah, always have to stay relevant to the market requirements, right?
Right.
Market is evolving so quickly, so fast, so dynamic these days, huh?
Right.
So you don't want to go into university and then 3-4 years later come out and find that what you 3/4 what you study is irrelevant.
Correct. So that's why we are trying to tell them, you know, and also to encourage the student. In fact, not only students, parents. In fact, a lot of issue is parents. You know, when the student go to university, they'll ask the parent, what course should I take? And parents say, no need study so hard one, easy get a degree, you know. So those attitudes have to change.
Yes.
Right. Like Singapore is so strong in terms of their these graduates when they graduated, you know, they were well looked after by the many corporations. Even before they graduate, they got a job already.
Yes.
So even now, I think Malaysia, like Health University, I was told that, you know, almost every year the graduates are all got a jobs once they graduated. Easy.
Yeah.
So that's the thing we do. And that's the thing I do as well.
Great, excellent. So you have a very wide range and scope you cover, CS. Amazing. So your context and all that must be very fantastic, no?
Yeah, because from the NGO side, we sit in many council, many committee in the government.
Yes.
Right, especially like I've seen so many that I saw some names I cannot remember. I sit in MOSTI, I sit in KKMM, I sit in MITI, you know, Human Resource, Perkeso, HRD Corp, you know, MedTech.
Sounds like almost a full-time job, you know?
So many.
Sounds like almost a full-time job.
Yeah, almost, not 100%, of course. But it do help some of my own business as well. For instance, I deal a lot with MDEC, right? So MDEC also have some company that I can work with, especially for those technology-based companies to help them to securitize or go listing.
Yes.
So partly will be both sides, like it's not only one way.
Yeah. Okay.
It is good to even work along this line, working with all the ministry. Then you have a connection. Then I can help my members.
Yes.
Because every member will probably have a different problem they face. Right?
Okay. All right.
Okay. Then a little bit.
You mentioned PCOM and MDEC and all this, what do you call, e-commerce cross-border association. Sounds like you have a strong IT background, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been ICT industry for more than 30 odd years.
Wow.
I started off as a computer engineer, IBM mainframe computer engineer. So I service a mainframe computer.
Okay.
I used to go to Bank Negara, Citibank, you know, midnight call to the banks, you know, just to service their large printer, large tape drive, you know.
Okay.
So I started with that.
So amazing, huh? From the mainframe now it's come down to this little fella.
Yeah, this little fella is so strong.
Yeah, amazing. Okay. All right. So maybe CS, I want to talk a little bit about SMEs because that's our main audience for this program. And maybe in your role as, you know, sort of the National Secretary General for SME Association or whatever source, whichever hat that you're wearing, can you tell us a little bit about maybe the impact on business this year or this year and last year, you know, since COVID? If you have some statistics or some numbers to share, that'd be great, no?
Sure. What normally we do, I mean, for the past 2 years, we will constantly have our survey right, to our member. SME Association have close to 10,000 members with 500 direct members because we are a federation, right? We have branches all over nationwide. We have SME Sabah, we have SME Sarawak, we have SME Perlis, Kedah, Penang, even Johor. So we have almost every state, right? There's a branch there. And besides that, they always feedback, you know, their issues and their problem they face to us at the headquarters, HQ side. So we do survey. Right? You mentioned just now earlier that on the heat of pandemic, especially the last 2 years, towards the SME is huge. You know, you just look at the GDP, you know, contribution in 2020. It was at 38.9 in the year 2019, and it dropped to 38.2 in 2020. So a huge gap of GDP. Of course, it's just a mere 7.7%, but 0.7% represent a lot of this income, you know, generated by SMEs sectors, right? So if you look at the SMEs, mainly most of them are in service industry. You know, our SME are 89% are doing service.
Service, huh?
Manufacturing is just close to 5%. You know, those companies I'm talking about, the SME companies, they categorize of this. So you can see that once the pandemic comes, where it hit most, service industry. You cannot open your barbershop, you know, you cannot open your restaurant, you can't do your retail outlet, you know, your retail F&B. That's where the main hit. So SME is really hit by this. And if you look at the figure that we have, the survey that we done, all the SMEs company from the start of the pandemic until now, they have already trimmed down their company size. Even if they don't close down, they will have to. They already shrink down their size of their number of employees. Right? And a lot of companies who has probably like doing retail F&B, they have 30 branches. Right now, a lot of them already cut to half or even less.
Wow.
Right? Fortunately now, restriction MCO, you know, have taken off, and business has started coming back for the last couple of months. But it's still not good enough because another round of Omicron coming in, you know, the consumer confidence are bad. Consumer confidence are bad, really bad. So it's really badly hit, especially when the logistic infrastructure, you know, the shipping cost getting higher. Right? So the export for SME also cut down a lot. The record that we have from our Jabatan Pengukuran, I mean the statistical department, it said that 62.1% drop, you know, in the export.
60% drop in exports for SMEs.
For services.
Wow.
Services is a lot. Services mean like tourism services. You know, you have inbound visitor, travel, tourists from other countries. So the services is really bad hit. Right? Even that, the manufacturing also dropped 3.6% from export. Right? Everything has dropped. So there's a figure is there. And it's really
the overall figure is quite significant. The one you mentioned, 39 point what to 38 point something, huh?
38.9 to 38.2, right?
Wow.
So
because we also have to consider that the whole pie has shrunk. Last year it shrunk. So in addition to the shrinkage, there's a drop in contribution total. So it's a double whammy almost, no?
Right.
So in other words, the big boys are holding up better than the SMEs, no? In terms of share.
You're right. Okay. That's why the last month they say that Malaysia export, you know, hit a good number, but that is because of the E&E industry. It's also our palm oil price went up.
Yes.
Petroleum went up.
Yes.
Petrol price went up. So those are big boys.
Yeah, from a national economy perspective, thank goodness we have all this diversification, no? We don't have commodities. We also have services. We also have ICT and E&E and all that. Otherwise, we are doomed, no? Okay.
Right.
So, and I want to just get your opinion. No, what if you had a wish list? What could we wish for the SME sector? No, what kind of improvements do we need for the SMEs to thrive and to be more successful in future situations like this?
In fact, if those SME are recouping their business to move forward, in fact, it's a good time to look at which market you want to do. It's very subjective. Let's say now I'm doing restaurant business, or I'm doing retail business. So right now there are a lot of these locations, right, whereby it's a good location, but right now the company closed down. They closed the branches. So it's opportunity for you to look for this sort of nice location and pick it up.
Yes.
Right. So it can be opportunities. Depending on what business are you in. Okay. Of course, on the manufacturing side, we have a little bit issue because of the our Malaysian mainly companies are not going so fast on digitization and automation. So we rely a lot on foreign workers. right? So if you can take the early stage, early move to get grants from the government, MIDA has some grants, even MDEC has some grants, they can help you to digitize and transform your business faster. So the faster you move, the better it becomes. So I will give them advice that go digital, take out the grant, the whatever automation, incentive they're provided by the government to move forward faster. Then you'll be more competitive compared to others, right? So just don't worry about cash flow. There are a lot of government loans that are provided by Negara, given out, to help the SMEs to move forward. And if there is an issue of getting loan again, you can look for other opportunity like go ECF, right? You go for electronic crowdfunding. ECF also another way for SME to recruit the business. Let's say you have a good business plan to run. Right? You want to find some funding. Right? So you can go for ECF. That's number one. Number two, you can even, I just come to know that Bank Negara itself already have next year they're going to start another plan. It's called equity financing. Equity. That means they will take equity and giving out funds. With those companies who are willing to give out their share, for instance.
Okay.
So those are the things that they can really look up to. Don't just sit down there and think of what you want to do with what you have. Think of what other resources can help you.
Yes.
So one of the things I did for my company, CTech, we are a listed company. Our share is listed in US right now. So let's say a company A who wants to raise some fund under the ECF, any company from the ECF, ACTA Plus or Pitch In, whatever. So we will guarantee their investment to this company with our share. For instance, company A wants to find money to invest in them, possibly raise funding for 2 million, for instance. So the 2 million we will back up with our share. You have a choice after 1 year, right? If let's say now the company don't perform, you can switch your share to our share, which is already securitized.
Okay.
So now I mean your investment is safe. But you have opportunity to see whether this guy can perform. Now, right now you go to ECF, everybody say they are good, they have this business plan, it's nice, I'm going to make money, so just invest, right? And you don't know.
Yes. Yeah.
So we are trying to do that to help the company so that people are more confident with them. If I give money to them, they run good, you keep the share there.
Okay.
But those are the companies that we believe they can grow. Then we help them.
Okay.
So there are many ways.
Yes.
So for the SME, just don't sit down, and worry about your cash flow, can't move. You can move slower. The other one is we do not merger. It's still do a merger, not M&A, sorry. It's merger. Let's say you have a similar business or similar factory. Now you know the capacity of foreign worker is less, right? You can share the resources by merging together. Right? Looking at that opportunity right now, because there are many companies who usually stuck, shrinking or even can't afford to move on anymore. But if they come together, they probably can survive.
Yes.
So there's a role
this is a form of collaboration,
correct.
and then with a view to merge so that you streamline your resources.
Yeah.
No, you don't need, for example, you probably don't need 2 sets of workers if you streamline. You probably can save 20% of workforce or something like that.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Just on maybe some factory, they have a few lines of what they call this production, right? If their production, the order didn't come in, the production will be empty, right? But the cost is still there.
Okay. All right. So you and I, CS, I think we are quite ready to engage this kind of new strategies, no?
Right.
But do you see the general SMEs, do they have that kind of mindset of being collaborative versus being very protective about their own turf?
I think people like you are one of the key, in fact, to tell them, why should you look at this option, right? Either you survive, you trust people giving you this advice, right? Trying to help you, and then make sure that both sides will have a right collaboration kind of agreement that handhold them.
Yes.
No, association can play a role. People like us also can find right people and good people for them to match.
Yes.
Right? Sometimes relationships like that. It doesn't mean that you know him that better than I know him. So when that case come in, people will trust people like us more.
Yes, yes.
NGOs, for instance.
Yes. The professionals, the more objective third party view,
right,
rather than he's my friend or whatever.
True.
Yeah.
So they need professional advice. You just can't do that.
Yes.
Those are things I believe they should start looking at.
Yeah. Okay. So I like your point about financing options. Also beyond your own cash flow and beyond sometimes the banks, you have the new avenues like crowdfunding, ECF. You also have the P2P platforms if you need short-term financing.
Right.
Of course, there are pros and cons for both sides. No? With ECF, you have to give up your equity. With P2P, maybe it's a higher percentage loans and all that. But there are options, no? And then your idea of collaboration and ultimately merging for better synergy and resources. Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I were to just take a look at some of the soft spots that Malaysian SMEs have, what do you think are some of the things that hold back SMEs from growing and scaling up? No, because on the one hand we see some very successful people like Grab or Kasem, but then by and large many SMEs are still probably stuck somewhere. So what do you see as some of the soft spots of Malaysian SMEs? What are the areas that SMEs need to get up to date with or get themselves behind?
See, the number one thing is that most of the Malaysia SMEs, they only look beyond their market. They only look beyond Malaysia. If you're the KL, they look beyond KL. They start with that, right? They have no mindset of moving abroad. But you can't blame them because of the fact that they may not have experience, number one. Number two is that they also learning in a learning stage of those SMEs. Right? I'm talking about the new, fresh SMEs. For those old SMEs, their soft spot is they not willing to change, right? Even now, you look at the takeout rate of the digitization grant, the automation grant under MIDA. Those three Azmin was saying that the takeout rate is so small, right? Of course, it's not 100% grant given to you, but it's almost close to 70%, which is a very huge number the government willing to put in to assist you. So, but that part also not, the takers are less.
Yes.
So maybe
do you think that's a function of a lack of understanding of how to do it, or the lack of understanding of the technical aspects, or is it just purely that they think it's too much risk and they're going to areas where it requires a lot of investment and they're not sure whether they'll get a return?
Yeah, you're right. There's two things. A lot of them still not sure. Okay, and also a lot of consultant, the middlemen, there are a lot of consultants coming to them, may not be telling them the right thing.
Yes.
So they probably worry, right? Whether if I'm going to invest in this, will it interfere with my current business?
Yes.
How much interrupt my operation, right?
Yeah.
And most importantly, most of them power. They do not have a senior managers or senior officer that have the knowledge to move forward towards digitization.
Yeah.
And to hire these people is not cheap. You have to invest.
Yes.
So some of them probably think that it's not the right time to do it during this pandemic.
Let's be conservative, right?
Let's move on conservatively. That's a soft fall of Malaysian SMEs. Mainly are that, right? So I would categorize as two. Both of them, some of them are running already. Their business are moving forward. I mean, as usual, that's fine. They can slowly take their time. But when RCEP come in, competition is going to be great.
Yes.
Let's say today you're don't talk about glove, you're manufacturing a plastic product, right? Plastic utensil or whatever. Tomorrow China come in, their price will be half your price. How are you going to compete?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So those are the things they have to start thinking.
Yes.
How to reduce your cost to compete with them, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, your quality.
Yeah.
Right, of your product.
Yeah.
And brand building.
Yes.
Brand building is also another thing.
Yes. I'm just wondering, whether people like MIDA should showcase 2 or 3 fantastic case studies, examples of SMEs who have digitalized and now made great advances. Maybe there should be more publicity. Showcase 2 or 3 success stories so that this will help, because sometimes the best. I mean, we can talk till the cows come home.
Yeah.
But if your mindset is blocked, but once they see, hey, this guy made it, this guy did it, then maybe that will help them to change their mindset and then, start to embrace it.
I
Because
think
like
they
you were
have.
saying, right, they don't embrace the change, they're going to
Yeah.
be left behind. And
True.
sometimes they know that, but they don't know what to do, so they're kind of like trapped. On the one hand, they want to do, but not sure what to do, how to do, and how to go about it, and so on. Yeah.
So I think the few things there, first thing is that, like you say again, MIDA has some form of promotion, but not enough. Not really enough.
Yeah.
Maybe the manpower or whatever. So this is one of the main reasons. Number two is that, they should have a better pool of consultants that can accredit it. Probably they can certify these are the good consultants. Please talk to them.
Yes.
And various industries, for instance.
Yes.
So there's the fact that we need association and not only or direct from the government. People like us also can help.
Yeah.
So we encourage a lot of companies who are providing such services to join us. At least in our network, we can introduce. Once you know you're our members to member, like I said just now again, the relationship, the trust, will be much better.
Yes.
Right. If I introduce company A to company B and both of them are my friend, they will believe that this is a better choice,
Yes.
somehow or other. So those are the things that we want them to look forward, to move along.
Yep. Very good. Yeah, because I think your point about getting industry experts and focusing on different sectors is very important. Because even if you take manufacturing, for example, I reckon what you need in manufacturing of steel or steel-related products or the electronic products will be quite different from food and beverage products.
Right.
So there got to be some kind of specialization, so that people can look up to these people as experts and learn from them. Yeah. Okay. All right. Just a quick check for my knowledge. So you're talking about the SME Association having like 10,000 members or more. Would this be a mix of micro as well as SME, or is it mainly SME, or how is the composition like?
For our association, mainly SMEs. By the employee and above to even 200. So the range is around 50 to 150 kind of employees.
Okay.
So it's SMEs. It's not the micros.
Okay. All
Micro,
right.
very few. Very few.
Okay. Right. So, well, looking ahead, looking at maybe planning for next year and things like that, with so much uncertainty, how would you suggest, or how would you advise SMEs to do their planning in these kind of volatile and uncertain times?
I think the last interview I had with someone also, I was telling them, basically we have to look into our own strengths and weaknesses, and then build out a business plan. A lot of SME doesn't want to work on that. The cash flow, they only do day-to-day cash flow. They do not plan forward.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They do not know whether how much money I need next year, or if what happened if Omicron come in and affect the market, another lockdown. What should I do? Where can I find money?
Yeah.
You must have a plan forward.
Different scenarios, huh?
Right. They should have planned forward to do that. And a lot of them now is consolidating, right, and not moving forward so much. But I think they should start to plan forward at looking into what they can do and how they can do if anything going to happen again, and what is best scenario, what is worst case, So put that forward.
Yes.
If we have issue, they can even talk to people like you or some of those consultants out there to help them.
Yeah.
To streamline what they need to do.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think that's a very key ingredient for success, no? Doesn't mean that what you plan will work out, but at least you go through that process of thinking through it, and so that you're better prepared if something happens, no?
Yeah.
Because if you just do day-to-day stuff, then you continue going to be always stuck in that trap of day-to-day. So planning is something that I think you're right. No, one of the in fact, one of the top 5 reasons why SMEs collapse or fail is the lack of planning. Of course, we know that the other ones are things like lack of capital or funding or budgeting, poor marketing, unable to spot the trends and so on. But lack of planning is definitely one of them. Yeah. Okay. So maybe CS, to finish up, would there be 1 or 2 last pieces of advice you can give to SMEs going forward into 2022 and beyond?
Okay. I think for next year onwards, SMEs should start looking into how to expand their business. Okay, and then move forward by seeking external funding, especially from the government. There are a lot of incentives, a lot of what they call facility that you can make use of. Right? Don't just sit down and do what you need to do now, but move forward by looking at what you can get, beyond your organization. So my key take for next year is continue to move forward, because RCEP is coming in. We have to face a challenge, a very difficult challenge coming in from other countries, because our market will be open up. Right? So how are we going to compete with them, right? And they have to sit down and really plan and rethink a new strategy for themselves. So the keyword is rethink, plan a new strategy to move forward.
Rethink and re-strategize, huh?
Yeah.
Because as you rightly say, once RCEP opens up everything, even for example, you take Vietnam,
All right.
Vietnam used to be so-called developing. Now they're ahead of us.
Yeah.
And recently, just a few months ago, they launched their own electric vehicle. Can you beat that? In the US, they're going to open up 60 branches. Amazing, right?
Right.
So we are still struggling with getting our car to export and all that, and we are tied with Geely and all that. But we really got to think about the world market and how the internet and everything is opening up everything. The world is the market, and we're gonna be borderless.
Yep.
Yeah. So okay, thanks. So thanks CS for your time and for your inputs, and I think the viewers got a lot of insights and opinions and advice from you. So if I can just speak to the audience for a while, if you guys have been following our podcast and getting value, and if you haven't already, I highly recommend you subscribe so that you don't miss out on future episodes like this. And do give us a like and a thumbs up and share it. Okay. So thanks everyone, and we'll look forward to seeing you again in a future episode. Okay.